Hey everybody, welcome back to another polygel nail design set. So these are my pink Halloween nails. I didn't want to do like the pumpkins and skulls and stuff this year. I just kind of wanted to keep it simple but still give off that Halloween vibe, and these are what I came up with. I don't typically use black, but I was loving the black for this set. Okay, so I already did my prep, my foam application, and I also did a layer of peel off base coat. But I am going in with a second layer of peel off base coat. The seasons is changing. I'm using more lotions and oils, and so I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any nails getting lifting, or I never had anyone pop off, but I didn't want them to start lifting or anything because of the excessive lotion and oils that I was using. So that was my reason for giving a second layer, and then I cured that. Now we're going to go in with SXC's Forever. I believe this was their bridal kit. I believe so. I did have all of their kits, but by far this is my absolute favorite kit from them. I never had a problem with any of their polygels. They do what they need to do. They very easy to use, and I definitely recommend them. But this kit was my absolute favorite, mainly because the glitters, this whole kit was a glitter kit, and all of the glitters are real subtle. Like, they not real bold, pop out, stand out. They just give that extra little glam without overdoing it, and I think that's why I absolutely love this kit. And so this color, and I don't think they have it anymore on Amazon. I'll check, but I don't think they do. But so this one was like a purplish with like a hint of gray to it, or like a real pale like purple. But I'm just gonna go in and do extended nail bed. Um, as you can see, I didn't really have no issues with using it. Like, it didn't flood or run. It wasn't too sticky or anything. So that is always a plus for me when I'm using polygel, especially on that nail bed. I do feel like the stiffer the polygel is works easier or works better on the nail bed. So maybe you guys can keep that in mind. And just for the sake of the video, I am just going to record one nail because I did have many steps. Now I'm just going to go in with a paper towel with alcohol on it and just wipe off the surface of that nail just to remove that sticky layer, because I am going to file. I have said this before in other videos. When I use glitter, it doesn't, for some reason, the glitters, I guess because of the little particles in it, but the shape or design that I'm going with when I use glitter isn't very sharp and clean. And so I want to go in with a hand file just to clean up those lines, so that way everything just looks fairly clean for the most part. Then I'm going to go in with that same paper towel and alcohol and just wipe off that dust from the filing. I don't like the dust. I hate filing in my nail room, and so I just want to get rid of as much dust as possible. Now I'm going to take this polygel. This is More Vans Black. It was in number 208. Surprisingly, this is the only black polygel I had. For some reason, I just assumed that I had a whole lot of blacks, but I didn't. But I'm just going to take a tiny bead and just add it on there. So you guys have seen those nails all the time where so they have like the little thin line or whatnot. I think a lot of the Russian nail artist does that, but it just have like the little thin line outline or whatnot, shadow box. I'm not sure what it's called, but that is what I was just going for here. I just wanted to be very thin, not real thin as if I was using gel polish, but just thin enough to outline that glitter, just so it can have that clean sharp shape. And so I just added a tiny bit, adding more if need be, and then just pushing it up against that glitter color, and just trying to make sure that it is even. So I'm just trying to make sure the line is as even as possible, and then pushing it all up against it. Then I go ahead and cure it, and I do that on all of the nails. Now we're going to go in with, I believe this is Amelie's polygel. Now with this polygel, I have 4 of their kits, and what I liked about it was that 3 of the colors that I got from their kits I absolutely don't have nor ever had those colors, so that was a plus for me. This brand also advertised as HEMA free and BPA free, something else free also. So for you guys who have like allergies or reactions to products, polygels, this may be the company for you. They also have a video available on YouTube telling what it is free of and why it's free, what cause certain allergies or reactions. And so for you guys with sensitive skin, this may be for you. Again, they do have a whole video dedicated just to what they do not have in their polygel. Now, it's I don't okay, so this polygel is not a favorite for me because it wasn't sticky or anything like that, but it was extreme. I ain't gonna say extremely, but it was runny. And I personally do not like a runny polygel. The harder the better for me, and so I felt like I was chasing it a lot. It was like if I did one side, the other side had already moved out of place, and that was annoying for me. But for you guys who like softer polygels and definitely need one that's hammer free, this is for you. They have quite a few kits now, so yeah. Now another thing, so for some reason with this particular tube, it's looking real pink. Like it comes out the tube pink. While working with it, it was pink, but you guys will see real soon that once I cure it, it comes off purple. So that was a little weird for me, but I absolutely did love this color. This was one of the colors that I never had before. Now I'm just going to go in with that black again and just outline. So for you guys who have already seen my Instagram photos and stuff, and also just from the cover photo of this video, you guys know that I was kind of going for like, I'm not sure if they, during the Halloween season, if they are like barbed wires or if they like if they are like hay bells. I'm not sure what it is, but that is what I was going for. I was just trying to make those lines and then give them little spike lines. I don't even know how to explain it, but all I'm doing is just every time I do a color, outlining it with the black. Again, with this polygel, same thing. It was a little more on the runnier side, and so at that point I just decided to use a small bead, and it's just like a small square, making sure everything is connected, removing any air bubbles. Now another thing also with this polygel, although it's fairly runny, it didn't have many air bubbles. Only popped like one, maybe two air bubbles out of both of the tubes that I use from this brand. So that is also a plus for me. I hate polygels that have a bunch of air bubbles. But after just doing that, square it off and then I cure it. And whatever I do on this one nail is the same steps that I'm doing on the other nails. You can see like it took me a little minute to just get that little square. But after doing all of those, then again, go ahead and with the black and outline it. Now I did not file anymore. So after I did the nail bit, that was the only one that I filed. The rest of them I kind of just went with it. Mainly because I did not want all of the black lines to be like the same width or the same, just the same width. I didn't want them to be the same. I still wanted them to come off as if I drew them on with gel polish or whatnot. But yeah, so that's that. This set did take me quite a while, to be honest. It was mainly because it was like I had to cure everything except for the black. I had to cure everything individually, but that was a little pain. Now this polygel here, I have used this brand many of times. It never makes my top, mainly because it is a hit and miss. I can have two tubes from the same exact kit, and one can be a delight to work with and the other one can just be a pain in the behind to work with, and so they just never make it in my top. Now with sculpting with this particular tube, no problem. The color was very pretty for me. I actually like the color, but the problem I had with this was it was so full of air bubbles. Like you guys can't quite see it from the video, but when I was filing, it was like every time I filed, a new air bubble appeared somewhere, and that is super annoying to have all those air bubbles in my sets. But all right, now so we starting to get down. This here, it was from Landfall. This was a pink glitter, and I only went in because originally this was supposed to be the end of the nail, but this pink glitter was like very pretty, and I didn't want to use a whole lot of it because I wanted to be able to use this color again for another set, where so that is the main focus or the main color in the set. And so I just went in with that little bead, went ahead and did the black outline, did all the fingers, and then gave that a cure. You guys, when I make these little videos, oh, let me say this first. And so this brand here, Maizy, I believe that's how you pronounce it, or Meezy. I'm not, Mishi or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Most of my polygels do get nicknames. But this one here, back when I first started, like, this was one of my favorite brands. Absolutely like this brand. Still to this day, I do still love this brand. It's not my top anymore, but I do still like the brand. It's very, very thick. It's a thick polygel. It's not runny, but it's not extremely stiff neither. The problem is when I cure, I do a cure, and I did a full cure. The top surface cured, and you'll see in a second once I remove this foam. But of course, the underside did not cure. So I'll clean it up and cure it. But the problem I had with these ones is that the middle don't cure. And yes, I am using a thick bead, and so the thinner the bead, the better it may cure. But I just never can get it to fully cure in the center without filing it down and then curing. And even still, when it's thin, it is hard for me to get that center very hard. But here are the nails after application. Wasn't a whole lot to it, just boom. These were the bottles, tubes, brands, and colors that I used. And so now we're going to get into the filing. Now, what you guys do not get this or did not get to see in this video, I did go in with my 2-time coarse bit first and remove the majority of the bulk with that. For you guys that don't know, 2-time coarse bits are usually the bits that have the orange ring on them. And so I removed the bulk of that with that bit. And now I'm just going to go in with this green coarse bit. And this is also just removing some bulk, but more so just evening out the surface of the nail. And I did go in for fine bit. Now I'm going to take this thin file and just go in and shape. I was showing you guys that when I file for my shaping, I file up and down. I don't go back and forwards or side to side. In order for me to get a good clean shape, it works better if I file up and down. Now I'm just going to take this 100 grit hand file around the cuticle area and then down the sides. And then after I do that, I'm going to go in and file on the surface of the nail. I never ever skip this step. Filing on the surface for me is extremely important because if you don't, you'll have those little lumps or dips or low spots. And regardless of how much top coat or bling or whatever you put on it, it will still show. Also, if you do all your shaping and you pull in your sides and your nails still look wide for some reason, you may need to file the underside. And that is just what I just did there. Just file the underside, make sure it was bored up and straight and clean, crisp. That's kind of like the best way I can say it. But okay, so now we're just gonna go in with this Venalisa mud gel. Mud gel is pretty much just a thick consistency of gel polish. And then this brush here, I cut off the majority of the hairs. It was only like 2 or 3 hairs left on the brush. These were the charms that I was going with. The little pink the pink bat was the whole inspiration behind this set. Those are the ones that I wanted to use. But I did not use them in this set. I just felt like it was too much pink going on. And so I didn't get to use them. But I'm just going to take some Venalisa's top coat and cover that whole nail completely, making sure it had top coat all around the cuticle area, all down the sides. And then I'm just going to blend it in. I'm just swiping over it a few times to make sure my top coat is even, and also make sure it's like no fuzzies or hairs in it. Then I'll just wipe down the sides of the nail, removing the extra top coat. Also down on the underside and at the tip. That top coat can make your shape not as clean. And then after doing that, I cured it. Now I just have some, what is this? Bling or rhinestone glue. It's not a gel because it's very, very thin. So it is a glue. But I'm just going to add a little bead of that on it, or a little bit of product there, and then go in with my charms. So the reason why I top coated first was because these charms have dangles. I love a dangle charm. If I could put little dangles on every set, I would. I love that clickety clack sound. But the reason I top coat first and then cured it is because for the dangle, I did not want the dangle to be stuck into the top coat. I wanted to still be able to have that sound effect that those dangle charms make. So that was why I top coated first. Now I'm just going to add another little tiny bit and then add a little rhinestone on to the top of that nail. And then after I'm pleased with the position of everything, I'll go in and give that a cure. Now I did went ahead and did that with the ring finger also, purpose of the video, just to speed it up. Now I'm going to take that mud gel, which is just a thick gel polish pretty much, and then just make those little lines. Again, I'm not sure if those are supposed to be like bar wires or the hay baskets. I'm not sure what they are called, but I love that. I love seeing those during the Halloween season. I just love those little line things. So that is what I was going for. And being that I had already had put the black in with the polygel, I did not need to make those lines with the mud polish. That's the thing, right? Like, I'm not good at nail art. I can't draw on the nails. I'm just not good at that. And so I felt like if I already put the black into the sets, I wouldn't have a whole lot to do. I wouldn't be so focused on trying to get those lines perfect. And so it kind of worked out. And another thing, being that I top coated it first and then go over top with the gel polish or the mud gel, is so if I don't like how something is turning out, it is easy for me to just wipe it off if I do the design after I top coat. If I do it before and top coat it in, then of course I would have to file off the top coat and the design if I don't like it. And so this just works for me. Top coat first and then go over top and do the design. Boom, after I finish all of those, cured, and here is the set. They were super cute and the sound was just beautiful. Like, my family was like, please stop, because I just kept clinking clacking all over the house. But they was like, please stop. But here's the set, super cute. But thank you guys so much for taking the time out and watching my videos. I truly appreciate it. And don't forget to continue to subscribe, like, share, comment. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.